Hi everyone, today's topic is commonly confused words in the English language. Now this is a big topic because it is very usual for children and teens and adults who are struggling with spelling to confuse quite a few of the words in the English language. And today's top example is dessert and desert. Very, very easy to confuse because there's only one letter difference. So we all know how difficult the English language is to learn, particularly when it comes to spelling. There are 26 letters and 46 sounds, which together make over 1,200 spelling combinations in words. Once you've learnt these, if you ever do, you will then be faced with words that sound the same but have totally different meanings. These similar sounding words are called homophones. Let me say that again, homophones. Homophones. Think of telephone. And there are more than 70 of these in the English language. In fact, there's probably even more now when I think about it, but 70 was what came up when we Googled it. There are also words when combined together in an abbreviated form sound like other words. An example of this is the one that you'll know, which is there, the abbreviated form of they are, which also sounds like their clothes, and their over there. So they all sound the same, but they're spelled differently. So homophones are words that sound the same, but have different meanings. These words can sometimes be confused and used incorrectly by struggling learners. If you are writing and you suddenly stop to think which spelling of the word that is correct, then you're not alone. Even digital spell checkers don't always get it right, and it can lead to some very embarrassing spelling faux pas or mistakes. It's quite funny because I receive a lot of emails from people using speech to text software, and I quite often get some really interesting spellings, and it always makes me smile because I know that the program that they were using most likely got confused. So you may get strange looks if you write, "It makes me happy to eat my favourite dessert every Friday." Some readers will pick up the error regarding that much needed S, but many won't. Here is a list of some of the more commonly confused homophones. I've already spoken to you about there, and there. And then we've got accept and accept, affect and effect, loose and lose, advice and advise, allowed, I spoke aloud, and allowed, am I allowed to go to the swimming pool, dessert and desert, we've already used that one, sight, as in your sight to see, and site, which is the website. For example, you might be on watching this video. Lead and led, too many, too much, two, I went to the shop, and two, the number two, all sound the same, but they're spelt differently. We've got draw, I like to draw a picture, and draw, I got my iTunes tag out of my drawer. We've got week, there are 7 days in a week, and weak, the opposite of strong. We've got practice, as in the doctor's practice, and practice, I'd like to practice my spelling. Bear, as in rah, bear, and bear, as in bare arm. We've got which, as in which way do I go, and which, as in the witch had green hair and a pointy hat. We've got principal, which is the principle of the matter, and principal, which can be the leader of a school. Now, sometimes teachers will help students to remember which homophones to use by creating a story or a prompt like this one. When something has been lost or is missing, then you leave out an O, as in loose, not lose. I constantly lose my keys. If something is too big, then you have an extra O, as in loose. My pants are loose now that I've lost weight. Words like there and there can be easily differentiated if you see the I, as in there, as a form of ownership, as in their jeans, their jumper, their house. In the word there, the extra E can be used to remind the learner when something exists. So for example, the children leave their shoes at the door of the classroom, right over there. In the example of dessert and desert, the extra S could be used to remind the learner that it has sweetness or sugar in it. So dessert, I always think sugar and spice is the two S's, and that helps me remember. For some people, trying to differentiate words based on whether they're a noun or a verb isn't really helpful, but using a visual cue within a word can help struggling learners to identify and understand the different homophones and which one is the correct one to use. So using multiple strategies is the key, parents and teachers and learners, if you want to remember how to spell a specific word. You can start by writing a list of words that you find confusing and then begin working slowly through the list one at a time until the correct spelling and use are cemented into your long-term memory. Bye for now. I hope I've really helped you today. Learn a little bit more about homophones, which are those words that sound the same or incredibly similar, but actually are spelled differently and have quite different meanings. And I hope you are having a super duper day. I certainly am, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.